Welcome to day one of a few-part series of creating method over madness. To begin with, I am creating stencils of different sizes. I have chosen to go with hearts, and I'm utilizing the brand paper on canvas panels and cutting stencils out of it. You may choose any shape. It is very easy to maintain the symmetry of the stencils. I'm going with the natural fold mark, drawing half of the heart, cutting it with scissors, and then carefully folding it through that mid mark and carving out the other side of the heart. Oops, stencils, I mean. This way, I'm repurposing the paper that usually ends up in the bin, or maybe occasionally to patch test a color. One of my go-to brands, their paper is pretty thick, so this works very well as a stencil. Feel free to use any paper slightly thicker or maybe even acrylic sheets. Full disclosure, this isn't a sponsored video. I wish. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome to day 2 of creating method over madness. For anyone who missed, here's a quick recap of day 1. Take any stiff paper or card paper and cut out a bunch of random sizes of any particular shape. I've chosen hearts. These heart cutouts are my stencils, and now I'm placing them on my canvas panel. I am creating a pattern in no particular order. All of this must look like stuff of madness, but there are some methods as well. To begin with, these shapes should touch each other, like overlapping. Try and keep the similar sizes apart. Also, other than circles, no two shapes should look in the same direction. That said, I've done just that. Place a couple of hearts looking in the same direction and some sizes placed together but in different directions. It may not be apparent in the line drawing, but once I start painting, you would see that. So these hearts are not placed in random order after all. You see, this one's shaped as 3-leaf clover. I've decided to paint these hearts diagonally in gradients. Beginning with darkest value at the bottom right, the colors would move towards lightest at the top left. I will mix several colors from my collection and not use ivory black. If at all required, I'll go with Mars black. The tint would be created with the color mix and not titanium white. Stay tuned for more madness on day 3. Welcome you all to day 3 of method over madness. For day 1, I created stencils of different sizes of hearts. For day 2, I traced the pattern using the stencils in no particular order. It is random, excepting these hearts are touching each other, slightly overlapping. Here I am coloring the clover leaves. Also, for most parts, I am freehanding it. It doesn't really matter. It's madness, remember? This is a wonderful exercise in color mixing. And before you know, you would have a color chart prepared all by yourself for yourself. Also, these acrylic paints are patchy and not uniform. So very often I had to redo the same portion once again to make it appear non-streaky. So I recommend mix the color in generous proportion. I used Mars Black by Liquitex to darken the color. So this is phthalo green and yellow ochre, with yellow ochre taking the position at the top left, and that's method 4. I chose to paint my hearts diagonally. I don't plan to use titanium white, even though I will paint my hearts in gradients. Can you guess the color pattern to come now? This will be multicolored. Stay tuned for more madness on day 4. Welcome to day 4 of few-part series of creating method over madness. For those of you who guessed a rainbow on the day 3 video, you're absolutely right. I will paint these 3 hearts in rainbow color scheme. I took a pause here before I began painting these hearts, the rainbow hearts, and decided how to go about it. These are 3 hearts, and rainbow typically has 7 colors, at least that's what are dominantly viewed by human eyes. I haven't used titanium white anywhere to create a tint, so I had to decide what colors to begin with and what colors to end, and how to create a lighter shade at the top left of the heart. I also decided the colors would slightly overlap, which means if I begin with red and end at yellow for the first heart, I'll have to again begin with yellow in the second heart, which also means that I had to plan how to show yellow in a darker value, because yellow cannot be really darkened, and without mixing black, because black turns yellow into green. The method of choosing to begin to paint the second heart with the same color as ending the first heart will make these disjointed hearts appear coherent. While painting these hearts in rainbow color scheme, I realized I am creating a color chart, unintentionally though. I used the colors of rainbow to brighten and lighten the adjacent colors, which also means at times I had to redo the painted portion for highlighting the contrast. As I was nearing the completion of painting rainbow hearts, my inner child showed up, nudging me to do what she loved to do the most while painting rainbows. And like so, I finished painting my rainbow hearts with a touch of pink. See you on day 5 with more madness. Hello, dearest ones. Welcome to day 5 of Method Over More Madness. Today I'm painting Heart of Hearts. This is the centerpiece of the whole composition, and I haven't repeated this size anywhere else to give it its prime place. As some of you may be already aware of my love towards the family of violet colors, it was supernatural for me to choose lavender, mauve and violet. Not supernatural, you get that. This lavender color is super streaky, so I had to redo it multiple times to get the desired opacity. While painting this Heart of Hearts, I remembered the ear studs I've owned since I was 7 or 8 years of age. Same color, same gradients, and heart-shaped. Obviously, my inner child was madcap happy seeing me paint this. Someday I'll share it with you all. And now you see how healing begins here. Stay tuned for even more madness on day 6. Hello, dearest ones. Welcome you all to a few-part series of Creating Method Over Madness, day 6. Today I'm painting my monarch, a big, bulky collection of hearts just on top of the violet one, which was painted on day 5. While I painted the first set of hearts without caring much about the boundaries or the edges, now that the second set of hearts, which is overlapping or touching the initial set of hearts, I'm carefully doing the edges, because after this I would not have a chance to go back and crisp up the edges. So I've painted 3-leaf clover, a rainbow, Heart of Hearts, and this one's monarch. There are a couple of more patterns. Some I've already painted, some of them are yet to come. You all, this was such a fun project and equally ambitious at the same time. It took me close to 2 weeks of time to tediously mix colors and meticulously applying them, taking care of the harmony between two hearts as well as the contrast, and also not repeating the same color again. Even when this is a color riot, there is a method over all of this madness. You see that now? I painted my monarchs beginning with burnt umber and then highlighting it with chrome yellow, but initially while editing the video they resembled chocolates. Who would have thought brown could be so beautiful? The family of yellow being one of the complementary colors to purple, this would enhance the Heart of Hearts beautifully. And since the monarch touches green on the other side, the color choice is perfectly harmonious. Stay tuned for day 7. Hello again, dearest ones. Welcome you all to day 7 of creation series of Method Over Madness. This is another set of hearts set to follow a pattern of cacti, this one. By now I had almost used all the main colors. By main colors I mean the colors that I most often use. And now I'm reaching out for the colors that I usually do not use in my day-to-day painting. As in, if I mix these colors instead of using it straight from the bottle, they come out more natural, somewhat desaturated, and equally beautiful. But since I already have them, which I bought about a year and a half back, with the enthusiasm of a color hoarder, like most artists are in their initial days. I know I was one. This allowed me to focus on painting instead of mixing the paint, hence taking the pressure off. As you must have noticed, I am not paying much attention to the edge, especially if this is my first heart, which means if there is another heart that I have to paint which is overlapping, like you can see here in this clip, wherein there are other hearts that I've yet to paint. So when I would be painting those, I would be careful about the edges. That way, even if the color is going out of the outline while I'm painting the first hearts, it's okay. I am not fussing much because I will have my second go at it, and that's when I'll crisp up the edges. But yes, while doing the second hearts, I will be very careful, especially where the two hearts collide. But for the edges, there are no overlaps. I haven't fussed over, and you'll see why in the videos to follow. Stay tuned if you've enjoyed the madness so far, because I guarantee there's loads more to come. Hello, my dearest ones. Welcome back to day 8 of creation series Method Over Madness. By now I've finished painting all my hearts, and now I'm going with Mars Black in the empty space between the hearts. Here you see me working with a micro brush and a magnifying lens in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Y'all, there are so many colors in the canvas at this point in time. I was going practically blind, and there is no room for making any errors. Remember, one careless stroke and I would have had to paint the entire heart, because getting the same color combination would have been next to impossible. So deep, slow breathing, a micro brush, some determination, and a friendly magnifying lens did it all. So there was absolutely no accidents whatsoever. Now that it's coming to an end, I feel empty already. And now you know why I did not fuss much over the edges. With this, I have a color chart, something similar to what I left hanging on the wall while moving houses, but this is so much cooler. This is hearts. Stay tuned for the final reveal on day 9. Hello, dearest ones. Welcome you all to Few Parts Creation Series Method Over Madness. This is day 9. If you've been following this series, then you know I painted the empty spaces between these hearts with Mars Black, and like so, they all appear connected. I am now creating a border with black acrylic marker. The measurements are random and not at all uniform on all 4 sides. This is the kind of border I created on my greeting cards when I was in my teens. I gifted away all of those hand-created greetings to my friends. I do have some of the ideas still retained in my mind, and I will recreate them, obviously adapting them to work on canvas panels with acrylics. Did you know I wanted to call them coal hearts just for fun, and then realized then there are methods and steps to create this, and hence I call this series as Method Over Madness. I'd love to see if you've given this a go. If not, you can begin with any shape of your choice. It could be triangle, circles, rectangles, even trapezoid. I did not paint the space between the hearts and the borders to make it appear like it's hanging by the frame. Off camera, I painted the border with Fevicryl Indian Red. Can you spot the different patterns in this color riot? And for the record, no hearts were broken in the process of making this series. And like so, the creation series Method Over Madness concludes now. See you in the next one.